Hi everyone, this is going to be a reading on how you can heal from the situation, whatever situation you need healing from. This is going to be pile 1, this bundle of white sage, so far unlit. This is going to be pile 2, this cross pendant, which I keep on my altar. And this is going to be pile 3. This beautiful clear crystal quartz. Hello pile 1, if you chose this white sage, this is going to be your reading. Spirit, how can my Padawans best heal? What advice can you give my Padawans to help them heal from the pain they're experiencing in this moment, where they feel the lack of abundance or any past traumas that they cannot release? Spirit, give me some advice. We have 6 of Pentacles, success. So I'm definitely seeing Archangel Metatron. I need to open up your throat chakra here and speak your truth. Express yourself creatively, or get in touch with your spirit guides and communicate with them. Here we have 8 of Pentacles and 8 of Swords in reverse. You will succeed in healing yourself by letting go of karmic cycles. You need to recognize where you've seen repeated pains in your life and repeated cycles, and how you contributed to them compared to the aspects of them that you couldn't control. And maybe try to I'm not saying that there's anybody you really need to speak to. Nobody who's hurt you who really deserves your time at this point, but I'm definitely seeing a need for you to not really take action too quickly or talk about it too quickly, but to instead slowly incorporate new patterns or slowly incorporate new thought processes that support a different way of behavior that doesn't lead you towards those karmic cycles again. There's definitely need for 2 of Wands planning. You just need to keep that in mind and keep those past things in mind. So this could be anything from saying no to something when you don't want to do it. It could be being more forceful with someone who might be trying to push something on you. Whatever it is you need to keep yourself from being in a situation where you can't control, where you feel like you can't control, you feel you can't control how the situation goes for yourself. You need to observe why you feel that way in those situations and how you can take away that illusion from yourself and release that fear and find freedom in a new path or way of undertaking these situations. Because maybe in the past you just reacted fast, or reacted from a place of hurt or anger or fear, just completely cut people off. I know that was good in the past. Now it's time for you to level up And there's definitely a need for release of any anger or resentment towards yourself. You need to forgive yourself, and there's a need to release these thoughts in your mind that keep you trapped in the situation, reliving the situation, thinking about the situation over and over again, even though you might have already solved it or have come to understand everything you could about the situation. Really just separating yourself from it and not thinking about it so much will help you not only forgive that situation with time, but forgive yourself for holding yourself accountable to these past things that you couldn't control. 5 of Wands, strife. For some of you, physical activity might help you, like exercise or sports, going outside on walks, running, something of that nature, where you are just exerting your physical energy. Dancing for some of you, because there is a built-up tension where you maybe had to block yourself in the past and block your own truth. That will help you release that energy. Queen of Swords. Don't let anything in that isn't aligned with your energy. Don't dim your light for anyone. Don't be afraid to cut through anyone's bullshit. Don't be afraid to close off your heart to people who don't deserve you. I'm also seeing that there's some sort of legacy that you are wanting to build yourself, or some sort of idea or passion that you are wanting to align yourself with. And I'm seeing, instead of like you already have the action part taken care of, you need to passively let it come to you and understand the truth of that abundance and how you will get there as long as you are taking this action. You need to believe in yourself. And in the passage of time, if you plant a seed, it will grow. Princess of Swords. I like how these Princess of Swords and Queen of Swords are sort of in contrast to each other. I think you need to embrace your inner child and your inner mother and find a balance between. Definitely need inner mother healing. You've had to mother yourself a lot in the past because people hurt you. You had to deal with it alone. You need to mother yourself, which means you also need to recognize your inner child and the parts of you that were blocked and never got that light, parts of you that never got to grow and had to stay a child. You have to mother those parts. You have to give unconditional love to them, and you have to nurture them so they can grow. I'm also seeing that you have to allow yourself to be childish and allow yourself to have fun and find hobbies and things that make you happy and do the things that make you smile. You can best heal by relinquishing control over the situations, any ideas of control that you might have had or think that you could have changed anything about the situation. If you've done something differently, you need to forget about that. Things happen in divine timing. It was meant to happen. Nothing you can do about it, but react differently now. Or, you already took good from the situation and grew from the situation, but just recognize that, you grew because you had to grow from that situation. You take the dark and the light with it and bring that forward with you into your future. Remember the lesson you learned from that situation and how you got out of it. I'm definitely seeing with this Queen of Swords and this Eight of Wands, you need to be more passive, and that you need to take a step back before you say things, and observe logically and without judgment, because that is when you are at your most balanced, as long as you aren't in your ego. Sometimes you get passive and without judgment because you are blocking your own heart just for safety, but instead you need to detach yourself and remember that other people can be children, and you need to be able to not be in your ego so you can discern whether the situation deserves your attention, deserves your justice, or if it deserves for it to be walked away from and that other person can just learn on their own. Not only that, but you need to recognize your inner power. In the past, you may have felt that you had no power, and no matter how much you fought with this Five of Wands, there was nothing you could do and nothing you could change. No matter what you said, your voice wasn't heard. And that is why there is a need for throat chakra healing and creative expression. And not only that, but if you speak to people and let them see the truth in you and the way you emotionally express yourself, that will make you feel seen more. Because in reality, you can't change that, the fact that you weren't seen, you weren't heard, and like no matter how much you fought, the other person didn't care about your pain. When that happens, you can't do anything but walk away or detach yourself from that situation, because keep fighting against it will just trap you in a cycle. And it's hard because not everything you can detach from, not everything you can fight. There's sort of a feeling of there's nothing you can do. And that's why there's a need for you to keep your heart locked up for yourself, nurture your inner child on your own, and plan for the future. And make sure you keep your light within yourself for the future, and you don't get swept up by other people's karmic cycles and other people's words that were only going to bring you down. You have to fight against that and fight for your individuality to be able to heal for those things, especially if you can't get away from them now. Because the brighter you shine, the less those things, the smaller those things get within you, because the more you have of yourself to envelop it, and it becomes a smaller issue, it becomes a smaller meaning to you, because you have more things that mean to you. That's why you need these other things in your life to separate you from these pains. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose this cross, this will be your reading. Pile 2, you may feel helpless, you may feel that your healing is impossible. First thing is that you must not ever have that mindset. You must always believe that your healing is possible, because that is the only way you can heal, is believing in yourself in that way. I'm also seeing that there's a strong need of independence in this group. You will heal by realizing that only you can bring yourself that abundance. And I know you already know that, pile 2, but I mean it like, you don't need anyone else. Other people, in the grand scheme of things, aren't going to matter. What really matters is how you feel toward yourself. You're at peace with yourself. You're at peace with other people, no matter what they do to you. And if you're at peace with yourself, then you'll know when to walk away from someone who is only going to hurt you. You are meant to be an individual in this life, somebody that other people look up towards. Because you are healing a generational codependency within your family, within your bloodline, in this lifetime. And finding independence is a huge component in that, in your destiny. Spirit gave me more cards on pile 2's healing and how it can be done. More cards on pile 2's healing and how it can be done. More cards on pile 2's healing. Prince of Wands at 222 on the clock. Science, 6 of Swords. Seven of Pentacles, failure. 9 of Wands, strength. We also have change in the House of the Flies. Change at 2 of Pentacles. The Universe reversed. 6 of Cups, pleasure. And at the bottom of the deck we have 3 of Pentacles reversed. To heal, you need to recognize how much strength it took for you to overcome these burdens and how much strength it took for you to bear the weight of these responsibilities that were pressed onto you. And they were pressed onto you unjustly, unfairly, and still you took it with balance and compassion, and you have grown from it in a way that you have not grown to harm other people. You have expelled negative patterns that were brought onto you or taught to you. And even though you would bear the burdens of other people, you never complained, and you never, I'm hearing, had doubt in God. I don't know if some of you are religious, but you never stopped trying to be a good person, really, no matter how much you were put through. And to heal, you need to recognize how much strength it takes for someone to do that. Look around. I mean, there's so many people who have just given up, given into bad habits, given into toxicity, even when nothing's happened to them, and they haven't experienced anything bad in their life. And you've experienced so much that some people would make them think, oh, I mean, they went through that, so I can understand why they would go a little crazy, but not you. And you need to recognize how strong of a person you are to be able to do that. Because maybe, I mean, like, you're just like, yeah, I mean, I did what I did. I did what I had to do to get where I am. But it's more than that. You know, not everyone has that strength and that faith in themselves to keep going. Prince of Wands. Express your masculine side, pile 2. This is like cute. Express your sexuality, your sensuality through dance. Not only that, but you should be louder. Speak your voice more. And not I just mean speak your truth, but I mean joke around more. Express yourself more in a crowd and a social setting around with friends, because people like your energy. And what you bring to the table, you just bring fun. You make things less awkward. Not only that, but you express all this pent-up childish energy within you that maybe when you were younger, you were just more quiet or more reserved for reasons. But now you can be a little bit more crazy and not feel like you have to reprimand yourself for it. Spirit encourages you to have that fun energy, that spontaneous, impulsive energy. Spirit encourages you to do things impulsively that you think would be fun. And take pleasure in things more. Sacral chakra energy. Take pleasure in everything you do. I'm also hearing that to heal, you need to recognize how hot you are. I know it's a little like much, but Spirit is telling me you're very handsome or very like fine. I don't know. You're very cute in like a masculine way. And by masculine, I mean expressive. It's very apparent. It's very opaque. And people see that beauty within you, but they're intimidated because you have such a quiet, reserved, almost standoffish energy. But if you would just express yourself more how you feel on the inside, because I know you're kind of a live wire on the inside and you're kind of a humorous person, then people would feel as if you were a little bit more approachable. Not only that, but I feel like you yourself would feel that you are more approachable and embrace your sensuality more and your femininity more, like your sexual appeal more, if that makes sense. And also just like the fact that you're a really cool person to be around, you know. I feel like to heal, like, realize you're a cool person. 6 of Swords. I'm seeing that you don't hold on to things, you move on. You move on from things. You have a strong ability to let go. Because with science being at the bottom here, I'm feeling like you're just like logically, I have to let go of this, I have to move on. If I don't move on, it's not going to benefit me, it's not going to suit me at all, it's not going to bring me any good. Moving on is just what I need to do in the situation because there's nothing else to be done. You're very logical about it. I'm hearing to heal, you need to have faith in your actions and how and what they've brought you, because yeah, you have moved on. You've reacted to these situations that were thrown at you in a way that Spirit is very proud of, because you have this weird emotional intelligence and faith and logicality, and like that you can surrender to the universe in this way where if you're just honest, if you don't complain, if you're logical about things and you think things through and you're not a fool, then good things will come back to you. And maybe sometimes you doubt that, or maybe sometimes you feel bad about how things went in the past, or you feel bad about who you are, or maybe you feel like your faith is a little silly. But I want you to realize how strong it is, how much strength it takes to have those beliefs that not everybody has, those foundations of like, I'm going to do this because it is the right thing to do. Not everybody has that, you know. And recognize how far you had to come to move on from those things, because they were really detrimental to who you are. You experienced a lot of soul pain, and through that you've grown and you've created this faith within you through that pressure. And that has turned you into this live wire, this amazing fiery person, this balanced person with a lot of strength who's very protective, Leo energy, very protective of the inner light and other people's inner light and inner child. 7 of Pentacles. To heal. Get some money, treat yourself, be a hedonist, take pleasure in things. And also make sure to learn to enjoy failure and learn from your failures so that you know where to plant the right seeds and where to cut off the weeds. The universe reversed. To heal, you need to accept the things you are lacking, accept that there will always be more to have, there will always be more to think, to give, to take, everything like that. There will always be more, you know. So you can be fine where you are. You can be whole and be partial. You can still be you as a person and individual without getting all the way where you want to be or being at the place you want to be in your life, because it is a journey. That entire circle of your life is who you are. It's not just you at one point. So you need to accept each part of yourself and the things that they lack and the things that they have in comparison to each other, and how they all fit together to create one big puzzle. And accept that with the light comes the dark. And those things that happen to you have created a lot of beautiful things within yourself that you never would have even imagined you'd come towards without the strength it took you to get through those things. You wouldn't have the strength you have now without seeing how much it took for you to get through those things, and now you know how much you can get through, you know. And now you actually believe in that part of yourself because you've seen yourself get through those things. You were literally forced to go through those things and you made it right through. So now you believe in yourself that way. And then 6 of Cups, pleasure. Do things that used to make you happy as a child. And not only that, look back on your memories with fondness. Maybe take some time to just sit back and look back on your life and how much you've grown and who you've changed into and who you aren't anymore, the parts of yourself you've left behind, and really just look at it as if you are looking at it from your deathbed, if that makes sense. Look upon it with pleasure and look upon it with that light within yourself. See what you've made out of what you were given, and think about the people you've met along the way. Those things will help you heal. Just remembering who you are and why you're here and the things that motivate you and the things you love. 2 of Pentacles, change. Change the things you want to change about yourself in your life. If there's something you're unhappy with, then change it. And take things less seriously. You take this pain very seriously, Pile 2, but you need to see the lighter side of things, you know. You're such a serious person because you've been through so many serious things. You had to be so reserved, but it's time for you to be less serious, to be more childish, to be more silly, if that makes sense. And 3 of Pentacles, reverse again. Don't focus on finances and money in a way where you're at a detriment to your own inner child and you're causing yourself pain and you're not happy. Instead, I want you to be passive. Take on your divine feminine energy. Spirit doesn't want you to work right now or care about bringing things in the material world. Spirit just wants you to focus on youth, and no matter how old you are, Spirit wants you to focus on the joys of not knowing, the joys of growing, and the joys of when you're young and you go into things and you learn those lessons. It's like a one-time thing, you know, and that's important. Every living being needs that. A huge component in your healing, Pile 2, is seeing the balance in things, the light and dark, the cycle of everything, including your pain and traumas, and including the light that comes from and stems from those things. Hello, Pile 3. If you chose this beautiful crystal, this will be your reading and how you can heal. Spirit, how should my Pile 3s best heal from this? How can my pathways best heal from this? How can my pathways best heal? There might have been someone in your childhood who you were friends with. Something about remembering them and what they meant to you might be significant to your healing. Spirit, give me the messages for pile 3's healing. How can pile 3 best heal? How can pile 3 best heal? A lot of cards wanted to come out, but I will read them each. In pockets, we have the Star and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. You were put on a pedestal and put into expectations you could never live up to. Or there was a lot expected from you when you were just being your own divine light. Maybe somebody coveted you or used your light against you, and that has caused you great misfortune. But I want you to know that the karma is coming on its own to the people who hurt or used you. Your healing has less to do with spirituality and more to do with the material world. A lot of your healing will be done in the material world. So, creative things, creative projects and hobbies, finances, focusing on business, money, giving charity to other people, and exercise, physiology, going on hikes, exerting physical energy through your body, perhaps singing, things of that nature will be very good for you, because I'm seeing that through exerting energy through those things and exerting your pain and trauma through those things, the energy that was repressed and built up and blocked, you will be an inspiration to many people. You have a lot to give, and maybe you were shy of giving that because of how things turned out with you in the past. But by taking on this star energy, you are taking on your destiny. You deserve to be up on a pedestal in a healthy way, in a way that isn't at a detriment to yourself, or you feel like you have expectations put on you by yourself or by others. When you are doing the things that make you happy and bring you good fortune, bring you daily satisfaction, that is when you will be an inspiration to others, you will be a muse to others, and you will make other people love themselves in that way. I'm seeing to heal, you need to recognize that the wheel is forever turning, and sometimes you just kind of have to let things fade with the past, fade with time, because there's nothing else you can do. The Hangman change. So, perspective change. Change your perspective on the situation and what lessons you learned, and that will help you heal. Also, change your perception on the balance in the situation. There's a need for you to recognize that the situation was unfair to you and wasn't healthily balanced. And there's a need for you to bring that balance and justice to yourself wherever it was lacking for you. And not only that, there's a certain pain you went through. We have 4 of Wands completion, And Nine of Pentacles, gain. There's a certain pain you went through. That you need to use for something different. Maybe you've only thought about it or thought about it in dreams. Maybe you've only like tried to ignore it, but there's a specific need for you to use this pain to bring completion and gain to your life, to bring abundance to your life, to bring better relationships to your life. And this will be done by changing your perspective on your pain and what can be done with it. Like, what can be done with that change? What can be done with that change in perspective, not only in yourself, but in other people? Through this pain, you've gained a knowledge that you can help other people with. Because if it's something that was unnecessary pain, you can help so other people don't have to go through that pain. And if it's something that is necessary, that you recognize that was necessary within you, then you can help other people see through their illusions that they have maybe held themselves to, and so that they can find the sense of completion and gain in their life. That is, of course, balanced with the darkness, the pain that everyone must go through. You have an innate understanding of the fact that, no pain, no gain. But in a healthy way, in a balanced way. So you can help inspire others with that. With your beliefs of some sort. Something about your beliefs is very important here. And healing, let's see. The Hierophant and the Seven of Wands value. I'm definitely seeing, for some of you, like, fighting against false beliefs or religious tyranny. I don't know if it's gonna make sense, but like, when people's beliefs and moral standards they use as an excuse to be bad or negative, or they're just bad people, fighting against that, whether just in a small way with your friends or on a larger scale for like larger groups of people or larger populations of people, is going to be very significant to your healing journey. And not only that, but taking pride in your flexibility and taking pride in your open-mindedness. And always being open-minded to other people's senses of ego so that you can understand where they are coming from. You can understand their sense of balance in themselves. We have Five of Pentacles, worry. The Chariot reversed. Eight of Pentacles, prudence, reversed. Four of Cups, luxury, reversed. And Six of Pentacles, success, which wanted to come out multiple times in this reading. You will heal by soothing anxieties and worries within yourself about your financial world or about your sense of abundance. You need to realize how abundant you are already as a person. And relinquish any worries you have about the material world, because they are all untrue and they are only caused by those worries within yourself. Don't be afraid to not know the way, and don't be afraid to be unbalanced. To heal, you need to realize that you have no control, and that you need to go into every situation assuming that you don't know anything about the situation, because you will not know. Spirit is always going to throw something your way that is going to throw you off track, and whenever you try to get on your own high horse. So make sure to just keep off of that and let spirit blow you like a leaf in the wind. That's what I'm hearing. Eight of Pentacles, Prudence reversed. Don't hold yourself, don't hold everyone in your life's responsibilities and their pains. Like, don't hold on to all of that. Like, people are going to tell you things, maybe in the past you would hold on to everyone's words and like try to help everyone at once and make sure you're not hurting anyone's feelings whenever you did everything, and you make every single move for every single person. You'd always be keeping other people in mind. You need to let go of that. Only do that when it's like very detrimental stuff and it's very serious stuff. But other than that, completely let go of that. You only need to be extending that warmth and that kindness to yourself. And don't settle in one place. That was the word I was looking for. Don't settle in one place. There's a need for you to travel and spread your gifts and your light across the world, Pile 3. So don't settle your roots in one place. You are meant to be scattered across the world, and you will gain a lot by giving to many different people. You will have people coming in and out of your life, Pile 3. So be prepared to like never get too attached. I mean, for some of you, yeah, there is someone you are meant to be with in this lifetime, but I'm just saying, like, build yourself up as an individual so that you never get too shaken when these people do end up coming out of your life for some reason. And the Four of Cups, reverse luxury, reversed. For healing, you sort of need to let things be shined a light on their own. Like, yeah, some things are still in the dark and they deserve to be shined a light on, but you just need to let that happen in divine timing. Not only that, stop reflecting on yourself so much. Just sort of live in the moment more. Try to like think about the present moment more, what you want to do now, or like what would be fun for you today, or like also think about the future sort of, and like planting seeds for the future of like what you would want to do someday in the future that, or like that would be fun, but you would need to plan for it to be able for that to happen. Just things like that. Be more serious and like practical about things instead of like thinking about it or sort of like mulling it over, if that makes sense. And don't extend your advice to other people as much as you have. Only give advice to close relatives, friends, and because your advice is very valuable. In the past, you may have given it freely to people who had ended up hurting you. So be a little bit more careful with your words and who you give to. Yeah, so just be disciplined in how much you give to people. Make sure it equals how much they, give to you, or how much they deserve to be given based on how they've treated you. Not everybody deserves the luxury of your company, is what I'm hearing. And then Six of Pentacles, success. For healing, you need to focus on your romantic life more. Not just with other people, with yourself. Be more romantic with yourself. Be more sexual with yourself is what I'm hearing. Be more optimistic about your emotions. Have faith and truth in your emotions and your emotional world. and allow light to be shined upon your emotions. Always nurture the part of yourself that just like is emotionally complex, your soul. And make sure to speak up about your ideas and desires in the world, because they will change the world. You are meant to change the world, so speaking out about those things will help you align with and realize how powerful of a being you are and how powerful your words are.